You know, it never ceases to amaze me when the mother of a child refuses to allow the father to have a role in the child's life. And this can happen before or after a court order. If it's before a court order, then the mom's pretty much in charge anyway and can deny father parenting time. If it's after a court order, then I have seen mothers do everything in their power to make it so difficult for a father to have a role in a child's life that the father just gives up finally. What mothers don't understand in those situations is that without a father in the child's life, the child is much more likely to get in trouble before they turn 18. If it's a little girl, there's an 80% chance she will become pregnant or drug addicted before she's 18. If it's a little boy, there's an 80% chance that he will become a juvenile delinquent and get in trouble. If the father and mother are both involved in the child's life, that reverses. It's only a 20% chance that a child will become a delinquent or get in trouble. So you and your spouse want to take a trip overseas to a foreign country, maybe Mexico, maybe even go up to Canada and spend a little time without the kids. Well, you're preparing for the trip, you're getting your passports together, you're getting everything ready, making reservations, and all of a sudden it hits you, gosh, what happens if something happens to us while we're on the trip? What if the plane crashes and we both die? What's going to happen with the kids? Well, there's a good way to handle that situation, and that is to do essentially a will where you are giving somebody else the authority to raise your child for you in the event of your death. And this can be done in a lawyer's office. It's fairly simple. When I do that, I like to follow the formalities of a will, where I have both parents or both parties sign in the presence of witnesses and make it formal, even put a notary seal on there and have it notarized. But by doing that, you protect your children and you get to pretty much direct what's going to happen after you die to your kids. Jennifer fired her lawyer, was sick and tired of him not doing anything on her case. He had continued the case twice before when it was set for trial, and he did it because he wasn't prepared. And she knew that, and the judge knew that, because that was his reputation. He wasn't prepared this time either. He hadn't subpoenaed any witnesses, hadn't subpoenaed any documents, hadn't taken any depositions. When she met with him a week before trial, she realized she was going to lose big time. So she immediately fired him, told him to get off her case immediately. So he filed a motion to withdraw with the court. It was heard on the day of trial, and the judge granted the motion because the judge didn't have a choice because she had fired him. Well, that left her without a lawyer. She wanted more time to get a lawyer. The judge said, nope, it's been set 2 times before. This is the 3rd setting. You're going forward with trial. She had to be her own lawyer and try her own case. She lost big time. If you're going to fire your lawyer, do it timely. Do you have a right to your child's medical records? Do you have a right to talk to the doctor about medical issues involving your child? Well, the general answer is yes. If you're the primary residential parent, the one with the most parenting time, then you generally have a right to access to a child's medical records and to talk to the doctor or other medical professionals about your child's health. There are exceptions to that. One exception is when the child doesn't need your consent for medical treatment. Another example would be where the court has ordered the child to obtain medical treatment or psychiatric care. In those cases, you would not be able to get the records of your child's medical care. Another case would be where you pose a danger to the child, and releasing those records or that information to you might place the child in further danger. What about abortions? Well, that depends on state law. In some states, you do not have to get parental consent, and the parent doesn't have to know. In other states, it does. It just depends on the state law in those situations.